right, welcome to the next edition of the TMS podcast. After what happened last night, we had to get this guest on the show. You have probably seen me on his platform a few times over the years because he was gracious enough to give me my first guest appearance ever on Raw Mod Sports. So now we want to return the favor. We want to get raw thoughts here on TMS. So without further ado, I introduce some and present the others. My brother, my friend, Mr. Ryan Jones Sr., aka Prime Time, Mr. 252. What's going on, baby?
Oh man, thanks, man. Thank you again, man, for having me on the show on That's My Sports. So man, I'm grateful for this. You and Aaron bringing me on, man, and likewise, my brother. It's pretty cool, it's late night hour, so you definitely gonna get some raw thoughts tonight.
Yeah, no, that's what we want, man. Like I said, we had a good talk a little bit about earlier off air, about what happened last night. So, I can't wait to get that conversation on to here because, like I said, there's a lot of things that need to be spoken about. So let's just jump right into it. So, for the third time in 5 years, the Kansas City Chiefs have become the Super Bowl champions. Without a shadow of a doubt, have become the new dynasty in the NFL. They gone back to back for the first time since the 03 Patriots. So, So Ryan, we'll start with you being the guest on here. Just what were your thoughts about the game overall, and just after this win, where do you put Patrick Mahomes in the quarterback conversation?
Raw mind, raw thoughts. By the way, this is where I'm going. At for the past 2-3 weeks, man, most people know me as a Niners fan, being biased on that end, but at the same time, I have to be realistic. I didn't say a thing because, I would rather see anybody else in the AFC outside of Patrick Mahomes. I don't care how many games, how bad these drops were. Isn't it ironic, right? Everybody talked about all the drops all season with the Kansas City Chiefs. Then voila, I guess, whatever people believe in religion, get to those receivers with hands. So apparently they just started catching everything out of nowhere. So, at the end of the day, in the biggest games of games, Patrick Mahomes outside the Tampa Bay game against Tom Brady and the head coach. I forgot my man's name, the head coach of Tampa Bay right now. He just didn't play well, but yeah, Todd Bowles. So, I felt like people, I ain't got raw thoughts. A lot of people was asking me, bet this, bet that, bet this, bet that. I said, I ain't betting nothing. I'm not even betting against Patrick Mahomes. But I love the 49ers. I'm not taking no chance on that. So I've been saying this 2 weeks, and a lot of people witness. That's why you ain't seen a lot of memes on me, because I have been saying this since once they said Kansas City versus San Francisco, I knew what it was. I wasn't even mad. Honestly, I had a great time. I had a great Super Bowl party. But, watching the game, the thing that hit me was very ironic. I always knew something wasn't right. Christian McCaffrey really hasn't fumbled at all this season. If he did, maybe once. But out of nowhere, the first drive, wow. Your best running back, probably the best running back in football from all standards of levels of versatility decides to fumble. And then I said, oh, here we go. Although I think about it, although the next drive, Pacheco fumbles, still, if we scored in, it's probably the first drive, because honestly, that very first drive, the 49ers will move the ball with ease, and it's a run thing. So him fumbling the football on that drive, we probably could have won the halftime 16-3. And if we stayed with the run, and honestly, as an OC, Kyle Shanahan, as a head coach, I don't know what happens in these games, but he loves to abandon the run at the worst times. The third quarter, the 49ers had 11 passes, 2 runs. You cannot, honestly, the 49ers scheme is built. It's not like the standard NFL. Everything is finesse, pass happy, offensive driven. But the 49ers probably have the best run scheme in football because they can put you in so many things to run the ball. They was averaging over 6 yards or 7 yards, I think, a carry the entire game, and you went away from it. That's what always happens. They always go away from the run. I'm even in Tarboro, because Ty Girl is from Tarboro, and Tarboro is a high school. They're stuck on the concept of, not stuck on the concept, it's like, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And even though you may think we're going to run, can you stop it? That's what the 49ers have, and you go away from that. And I'm not taking that away from Brock Purdy or the quarterback position, but that's what it was. To your point, because in the NFL, we have teams again that like the 49ers love to run first, play action, come off of that. Most teams love to throw the ball a lot or whatever the NFL is going to. It's a QB driven league, of course. So when I think about the NFL and I think about the San Francisco 49ers, I think about like prime example, Andy Reid's play calling with Travis Kelsey. Andy Reid, for some reason, I don't know if people ever noticed, like Travis Kelsey is always super duper wide open whenever he catches the football. He's one of the few guys who stay healthy because he's always wide open. So even if he gets tackled, he may get tackled maybe 10 yards, 15 yards down the field to brace himself and protect himself on a big hit. Now he may run him over not so it gives him a chance to figure out how he's going to handle the hit. The 49ers have a thing of a situation where like Tebow Samuel may get a pitch in the backfield 5 yards. We know Chris McCaffrey may run in the middle, may have to endure contact. Like you don't have enough time to brace it. You just have to do more read and react. 5 and outs for the 49ers that get those things built. That's that part. So I can go deep in there another time, but I want to make sure you guys get in here and talk on your own show. But with that being said, raw thoughts, raw mind, raw thoughts. Patrick Mahomes, and I knew it, is probably the GOAT, and he's the next first ballot Hall of Famer. And Andy Reid, honestly, went from his situation is down. He didn't do well in Philly. He was there in Philly. He never won in Philly. He was in the same situation the 49ers was for years, even when we was in high school. Well, for me, high school in Hollywood, Ray was in high school. I don't know where Aaron is on age.
He's a little bit younger than us. A little bit younger.
All right, so okay, so high school. So Andy Reid was always getting there over and over and over. NFC Championship, NFC Championship, NFC Championship. Went to one Super Bowl. He still lost. So it was like a bad thing, like, for the curse of him. But now he's with Philly. I mean, not Philly, with Kansas City Chiefs is different. So he's actually getting over the hump. I don't know how much time Kyle Shanahan may have, but, I just feel like this right now is Patrick Mahomes' league, whether we like it or not. That's my raw thoughts on it.
I'm surprised you didn't talk about how the Niners defense was pretty much rattling Pat Mahomes throughout the entire first half.
They did. Honestly, they did. Raw thoughts,
destroying them, and I don't know why Kyle Shanahan let his foot off the gas on that. It's like, if I'm Steve Wilkes, I'll keep doing exactly what I'm doing. It was frustrating Pat Mahomes. You could tell with the Travis Kelsey, he was wide open to hit Andy Reid. So yeah. I don't know. It was just very interesting that they kind of stopped that, and I do, to the point, I actually enjoy the fullback position. So I do love that Kyle Shanahan still keeps the fullback.
I like it.
Still open, which is Insky.
The thing that hurt me with that was like when Greenlaw had that freaking accident injury.
Oh, Achilles.
And I think, honestly, if Greenlaw plays, those plays of the middle don't happen, because people don't understand how important, if even if you're not a 49ers fan or not and don't know, just like you guys know your team, like every single position. Greenlaw is super duper huge to Fred Warner's backside on everything. And the fact that, because I had 2 ruptured Achilles myself, and I ain't in that league. I'm not even nowhere near in the shape they are. So I know how it feels. But the way he was pumped up jumping, and people don't understand when he made that move and when he fell, and I saw how the Achilles stretched, I saw myself going through that. I said, oh, God, boy, I know it's over. But go ahead, guys.
Yeah, I mean that we had talked off the air about how tough of an injury that was. But I feel like on both sides of the ball, what we saw happen was, and this, and I credit to what happened the first time that I saw New England face Kansas City in the playoffs a few years back. You see how high powered the offense is. You see the weapons they have. You see that what Mahomes was then and what he's now become. And I think when you stifle him or you confuse him, or like Aaron used the word rattle, I think it's almost, you get to a point where it's like it's almost too good to be true. And I think that's what happened. It was almost like, oh my God, like we have him rattled right now. Like, and it's like, because they think, well, eventually he's going to figure it out, they go away from what they were doing. And that's I firmly believe that's what happened with Steve Wilkes. I felt like Steve Wilkes in the first half was basically getting his way back to becoming a head coach in his league, because he was dominating Patrick Mahomes in the first half. And I'm like, okay, here we go. He's going to get a job next year. Or maybe some team says, hey, in the middle of the year, we're letting our guy go. We want you to come on because we saw what you did in the Super Bowl. But then all of a sudden, they started to play prevent, and prevent prevents you from winning.
Yeah.
I know because I saw it on Twitter. Well, what else? The third one we just couldn't defend. The first two times that I seen my team lose the Super Bowl, they played prevent, and it prevented them from winning. So that's just what it is. So if you play prevent, you're not going. You got to be aggressive in those situations, and offensively and defensively, they chose not to be they chose not to be aggressive. But the muff punt hurts, the fumble hurts, and they just didn't capitalize on certain opportunities in the end.
Yeah, I mean, also too, since we have you on, are the 49ers the Cowboys of the West? Because ever since they've won it with Steve Young, I mean, the monkey, I guess, wasn't off the 49ers' back.
The monkey off the back, Steve Young. I like that. Yeah. So
the only difference is you guys actually been making it to Super Bowls, unlike the Cowboys. But it seems like every time you guys are going, you're losing.
Right, and I think raw thoughts with it. No, you're right. Like raw thoughts, man. The 49ers, Jim Harbaugh, his time. I like, by the way, that they signing in with the Chargers, him and Greg Roman, and now NaVar Bowman. It's going to be like the linebackers coach, so this going to be pretty cool. We had a really good time. I think the 49ers have a really good organization, even though people want to talk about management, but like management has put this team in position to get key players to run. Do it hurt? Yes, of course. 3 times. Now, I know I made a comment on my post the other day on Facebook about something. I said, man, we worse than the Bills. But I know I had a guy, one of my 49ers fans, tell me that the Bills went 3 years in a row and lost. He said, at least you lost it in 4 years in a row and lost. But I guess they said with a span, like we didn't go every single year, so it's not as bad because it was a decade of that compared to that. But I mean, honestly, raw thoughts, like who wants to see their team lose 3 games in a row? We should at least be in the New England's territory now. As a matter of fact, you want to get real raw thoughts, we should be the most winningest team in Super Bowl history if you think about the 3 losses, because Pittsburgh ain't got back, in a while. New England, had their times, but they haven't got back. Although 2, maybe even if we were, let's say we won all 3, we got 8 Super Bowls. New England probably lost a few. I think y'all lost one in the 80s in Chicago. Then you lost 2 with Tom Brady. So if you win all of them, maybe you guys have like one more than this. I mean, Patriots will have like one more, maybe like 9 or 8 if everybody wins. Let's say everybody wins.
They actually have 10. They would have 10 because they lost Brett Favre down in Southern Miss.
Right. I agree. So that's 10 to 8. But I'd bad feeling.
I was just 8 though. I just wanted 8.
Yeah, but I know
you're
so
done.
like,
the Pats are done. I'm not talking about the Patriots. Don't let him fool you. Don't let Patriots are done. You're good. No, this is the Patriots hour. This is the 49ers hour.
All right, so for me, that's what I thought about, man.
All 3 of us on the couch.
Right. And look, I told somebody today, give me the recliner with the chips. Since you ain't gonna put me on the couch with you, just give me a recliner. I'm good. Right. But I mean, honestly though, back to what you were saying, I think the organization, it is bad, it is rough. I just don't like the fact that, honestly, raw thoughts that the 49ers stunk it up. But I really think, honestly, like the guy Arthur Lyons is saying in the couch, man, like the running game was going well. I never understood why we go away from the running game. Now, if the running game ain't working, fine. But the beauty of the running game of the San Francisco 49ers is that if the running game is working, you can run play action off of it. I just don't understand. And raw thoughts before we get, so I want to say this like clearly. The 49ers were assembled to win now because they got probably the best running back in football with $60 million. You went and got Randy Gregory for a steal. Chase Young. You have all these dynamic pass rushers. And it's a lot of free agents they have now. And not only that, like Arthur Lyons also said, and I've been saying this all week, 49ers got like a 2-year window. If they keep the main players there for now, they better win in 2 years. If not, I'm gonna be sitting on the couch very early after these 2 years. Like, hey, it is what it is. I'm just gonna watch football because I don't see it. Kyle Shanahan is a coach, so as long as his brain is functioning, he can probably coach till he's about 70. So honestly, raw thoughts, what his daddy isn't, and I'm not gonna say that's what it is. So you can always find, but it's hard as a GM in an organization to keep rebuilding teams, and you don't know if your philosophy can work with other players coming out. We don't know what the future is in football, and you don't want to keep doing that. But man, yeah, raw thoughts.
So we had our boy Ryan, not boy Ryan, you're our boy Ryan, our boy Arthur, excuse me, had commented on it just because he was saying about y'all may have good 1 or 2 years left. So like you agreed or alluded to a few moments ago, but he was asking how many he said who do you think they can add to help get who can be the missing piece that you think who could be a missing piece over there, whether it be an offense or defense.
Um, Offensive lineman is going to be a need. Defensively, I'm gonna be honest. We talked earlier a big time linebacker because Greenlaw gonna be out probably for the rest of the year, starting already with that torn Achilles, surgery getting repaired. Do he come back the same? We don't know. Um, for me, safety wise, Gibson is gone. It'd be good to have a good safety. It's easy to say Kirk Cousins because people like Kirk Cousins, man, you joking. But right now, Brock Purdy, I don't know if I can't say he lost the Super Bowl because I think certain plays, like for example, the last play before the 49ers kicked the field goal, man, it was I don't know who missed an assignment, but Chris Jones was coming at him head on. Like, that's a no-no. I don't even think that any quarterback was going to get away from him unless you Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. So, those guys could probably get away. But for me, offensive line, I think if we can keep the same guys like Gregory Jones, Chase Young on a good deal, which I doubt it. But then again, who knows? Maybe we can get him on a friendly deal. Because Chase Young, honestly, after one game with Jacksonville and outside of this one, I don't know if he proved himself to get a big payday. So who knows? He may stay. But those are my raw thoughts.
I'm glad you said that about Brock Purdy. So, do you believe in what Cam Newton said that Brock Purdy is a quote game manager, and you would rather have a Kirk Cousins on your squad?
Whew. Kirk Cousins' percentage of completions is amazing. But it just depends. But Kirk Cousins also had a lot of skill players around him too. So, when I think of Kirk Cousins, I think about the skill players he had around him too as well. Like, he didn't have like mediocre guys. Like, he had guys like Justin Jefferson. Even in Washington, he had pretty good guys when he was there as a young quarterback under Jay Gruden. He always had pieces around him too.
So do you. You got Debo.
No question.
Ayuk.
No question. No, I won't. No, what I was saying is because I'm looking at it from your end, like you could, like when you're asking it, like, is Brock Purdy a game manager? So I look at what Kirk Cousins can have and also what Brock Purdy has. They have the similar style. So how do I separate those two? That's what I'm thinking. You got year two kid who's making far less and has the same players that probably could do the same as Kirk Cousins. Do you have Kirk Cousins who may come in with the bag and want the check? Then I also look at the San Francisco 49ers. You got to pay Brandon Ayuk. I don't think, for me, man, I watched a little highlights on Iowa State. I don't think Brock is a game manager. I'm going to be real. This is real raw thoughts, so get ready. Kyle Shanahan likes guys who can make his offense look amazing. But if let's say you put Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers into this situation, nobody's going to talk about Kyle Shanahan's play calling. They're going to talk about how well Patrick Mahomes does and how well Aaron Rodgers does. I'm just naming those two quarterbacks just off the top of the head because of the fact that they're guys who kind of call their own show. So if Kyle Shanahan called these same plays, is anybody going to talk about Kyle Shanahan plays? Or is anybody going to talk about Kyle Shanahan calling the plays when you got Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes? Do anybody ever talk about Andy Reid's play calling, even though Patrick Mahomes is a quarterback? And I think Andy Reid is an extremely, really good play calling guy. But nobody talks about, I don't think I heard like once or twice anybody say like Andy Reid is a genius as a play caller. I've heard a lot of people talk about Patrick Mahomes making the plays. So when you get guys, I just named those two. Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. Now you bring in Jimmy Garoppolo and you bring in Brock Purdy. Those guys, I guess we all can agree, are not better than those two guys I just named. Right. So now the bar is lowered. So now Kyle Shanahan comes into play and it comes off like he's a genius. He's doing this, he's doing that. So when I look at him at Iowa State and I look at him now, I think Brock Purdy has made some throws for me to say, like, hey, Brock Purdy made that play. But I also say in this situation, Kyle Shanahan has dialed up some really good plays. So I think with Cam Newton is going at, for me, outside of what he said, is like, man, the 49ers got so many playmakers, man. You can't even really say the quarterback is running this team. And I think that's where he was more so going. It wasn't a real diss at Brock Purdy. It was more like, man, if I had these weapons, they'll call me a game manager. So I mean, like he looks at the skill players. He played with Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey, the best running back in football. Debo Samuel, whether he hurt, whatever, he's pretty much a solid guy. That's a game-changing guy. George Kittle, probably top 2 tight end healthy in the league. So it's only a few quarterbacks that's going to be exempt from the game manager role with the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
I think every other quarterback in the league is probably a few, maybe on my hand. I'm going to go name one. Lamar Jackson could probably, if he was on the 49ers, he probably could game change because his ability to move. Of course, Patrick Mahomes and Rodgers, people would be separated. Justin Herbert, maybe can be in that category.
Let's say that around Aaron. Aaron is not a Herbert guy.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, yeah. I mean, he may.
Herbert's mediocre, so.
It's funny. It's funny in the chat here. Sorry to interrupt. So we got Millie Goes podcast. Shout out to them because AV is a big Niners fan. So he put no chance. Brock Purdy went toe to toe with Mahomes late in that game. 3 straight scoring drives in fourth quarter OT back and forth. Talking about the Cam Newton with the game changer. We got Arthur play is solid. Feel Kyle should have been more aggressive with them, especially during OT. They should have went for the 4th down, except kick the field goal. See,
so who's the fan?
But what if you went for the 4th?
You said Millie Ghost is the fan of the 49ers.
Yeah, Millie Ghost podcast. AV, yep, he's a big Niners fan too. So he said Purdy led more scoring drive the first quarter than Lamar did all game against that defense. I guess we're seeing he's a big.
Go back to that post again. I can't see it. You said
Purdy led more scoring drives in one quarter than Lamar did all game.
I mean, no question. But now he said no chance Brock Purdy went toe to toe with Mahomes. That's the logical thing, raw thoughts. Like, we know that's not coming up. We get that. My thing is the play calling in that end. Like, I think Brock could have done enough. Raw thoughts, I think Brock could have done enough to win this game if it was allowed for him to do that. I really think one of those, like Steve Spagnuolo on 3rd down, well, people understand when the 49ers got outside that holding call, 3rd and 12, when you get 3rd and longs, Steve Spagnuolo would dial up a blitz. It's been obvious all year long. I think the defense for the 49ers did play amazing, but you put them in a situation like that, you would think that Kyle Shanahan would do that. I mean, I think it was just tough, man. I think this situation is just tough overall. Patrick Mahomes versus Brock Purdy, anybody picking and choosing the quarterback they're going to go with late game situation, it's a no-brainer. So, like, I feel like it's unfair because Patrick Mahomes has been to 4 Super Bowls. He's 3-1. Like, Brock Purdy is in his 2nd year of the NFL. Like, it's hard to even compare. Like, even the matchup was just like unfair. I'd rather seen them play against anybody else, even Baltimore again. It's tough.
So where would you consider Pat Mahomes then? In like this, obviously, there's all these different tiers, but he pretty. I keep seeing all these things that he's pretty much nipping the heels at Tom Brady now at this point.
Man, no question. I think his situation, the best thing for him and Andy Reid actually, in life and relationships and boyfriend and girlfriend, certain things just jail. Andy Reid took a chance on him, but nobody even thought about Patrick Mahomes. If nobody thought about, like, he could have easily went anywhere in that draft. Andy Reid waited for him. He's definitely in that tier. Because I think when we label tiers, we label it as a win and loss tier Super Bowls. It's not about what you do in the regular season. It's all about what you do in crucial moments. Patrick Mahomes, my homeboy, whatever they want to call him, is in a different level. And when I'm not going to say he's the GOAT yet with Tom Brady, because Tom Brady is there. But in this moment right now, he is the best quarterback in football. He didn't have a lot of weapons this year, and each and every year is something different. He didn't get Tyreek Hill. People complain. He got back to the Super Bowl, played against a very good 49ers team. That's not on the bias level. Still made it happen. Patrick Mahomes right now is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, the best quarterback in football. I'm want to really say who, and this is why I say he's in that tier. What other quarterback you think in the NFL could have led that Kansas City Chiefs team to the Super Bowl and win? With the players supposedly dropping all the passes in the NFL. Out. And I ain't go ahead.
So only guy I could think of, and I think I told you this off the air earlier, because you just give him one elite weapon still. I'd go with Joe Burrow. I think Joe could still win.
Well,
Um,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I
But
mean, yeah,
we
obviously,
don't know that though, because he has a Jamar Chase, he has a running
yeah. But I'm
game.
saying, but Kelsey's been there, so I'm saying, if you talk about give him someone that's been there, and you gave him that guy that's been there, like you said, that's always open. Even though Chase said I'm always fucking open, but
Yeah.
Travis Kelsey is always open. Like he really is 7-Eleven. So I think that you give him that type of guy, maybe, but it's a very short list. Very short list. Maybe Aaron Rodgers, maybe.
Whew.
It's just like, I don't know. Once again, we just saw him say he couldn't do this with the guys
Yeah, that's why I ain't put Aaron Rodgers there. Ain't no way, just a tight end. And like,
no, I'm saying he just sat there and complained, I can't do this with the guys in Green Bay.
right.
And then Jordan Love was a dumb play away from being in the NFC Championship game.
Raw thoughts.
So I don't know. To me,
and that's a whole different situation. That's another story for another day.
right.
I feel like Matt LaFleur is probably at peace right now and is happy because of the fact that he didn't have to deal with the pressure of dealing with Aaron Rodgers and the shenanigans each and every single offseason. Now you got a team, you can do what you want to do and put this team together. I really think like with Aaron Rodgers, it's more like I'm gonna do it my way. The team that Matt LaFleur got is super young. He can actually coach them the way he wants, and they actually listen and buy into him. So it's kind of showing as a young coach like he actually can coach outside of just he had Aaron Rodgers. This season, although they lost to the 49ers, it still shows like Matt LaFleur actually knows what he's doing.
Well, do you think that Kyle Shanahan just got a little too cute with the play calling? This is the third time he's had a 10-point lead while in the Super Bowl, whether he was the offensive coordinator for Atlanta and obviously twice for the Niners. So is he essentially the Andy Reid of Philadelphia?
No question about that. Raw thoughts. He definitely is. I don't know when it's going to go away. I don't know when the curse is going away. But he is like I said earlier, you going away from the run game is a no-no. Like you have to run the football until they stop it. Look, raw thoughts and logic thoughts. Keeping Mahomes off the field as much as possible is the best recipe to anything. If you run the ball, you keep Mahomes off the field. You can run the clock down, keep it down as much as possible, leaving him so much less of time than what you have. Christian McCaffrey, and unless I'm wrong, average over 6 or 7 yards a carry. Unless he's hurt and tired, I understand pulling him out and putting the kid Mitchell in. You run the football. The problem with Kyle Shanahan is Kyle Shanahan has the best run scheme there is when he's doing it, but he always avoids it for no reason. When it's working, I'm gonna tell you again. If it's working, now see if they stop it 2-3 times in a row, I get it. Okay, let's switch it up. He finds a way to go away from the game of running and goes to it. Happened with it when they played against Baltimore Ravens earlier this season. Running game was running. He completely went away from it. I just don't understand why Kyle Shanahan's philosophy going away from it. I told somebody today, Jim Harbaugh, regardless of what people want to say or not in Michigan, and what he's about to do in for the LA Chargers, and they probably get the running back they have. If Jim Harbaugh, even with Frank Gore, not as explosive as Christian McCaffrey, has a chance to run the ball a million times with Frank Gore, he's going to do it. Like he's not going away from something that's not going to stop. My only issue is Kyle Shanahan is a genius in play calling, but he goes away from the running game at the wrong time, and especially in this game, the third quarter, he completely dismantled the running game. First quarter, second quarter, he went to it. The fourth quarter, he went to it. Third quarter, it was 11 passes to 2 running plays. So that's just raw thoughts.
You would think, like, learning from being in Atlanta to not run Devontae Freeman when it mattered the most to beat Tom Brady. You think he would do it again against Pat Mahomes? But
And I'm gonna tell you another thing about Kyle Shanahan. This is my raw thoughts. I'm gonna make this super, super quick.
is your mic muted? All right.
Yeah, well, now it definitely is, but
All right, now we're good. Say that again. Yeah, you should be good now.
should be good now.
I thought it was me. I was like, oh, what did I do?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'll chime in, but I just think that he's gonna have to adapt next season um if he wants to win. I think that he has a lot of things that are going right, and that coaching staff as a whole has a lot of things that are going right. But until they're able to adapt to certain situations, they won't be what they're supposed to be.
Y'all did hear everything I said, D. Cool.
No, some things didn't go through, but I'm like now we can hear you now. So
Oh yeah, so basically what I'm saying is like he has a privilege. Mike Shanahan's his dad. His dad won a lot of Super Bowls where he was on the coaching staff with Bill Walsh and them. He also won Super Bowls with the Denver Broncos. So like even though I would say like you shouldn't call it, you shouldn't call that. He has more of a leash. And I just honestly, even though because we think about Kyle Shanahan's situation, it's still like, do you want to bring in a new coach? Let's say I'm not saying get fired, but let's say if you want to bring in a new coach, you got to start over from scratch. But if the 49ers keep getting to the NFC championships, being in position to be there, like it's hard for an organization to get rid of somebody who's always going to the NFC championship over and over. Although they did Jim Harbaugh like that, they learned their lesson. It was like, oh no, we're not doing that no more. You know, even though Jim Harbaugh went to the AFC, NFC championship, it wasn't Jim Harbaugh's fault, clearly, because Kyle Williams from the first year. The second year they came back on Atlanta. The third year it was against Seattle. It was a tip pass, and then the next year they went 8-8. And after that, they decided to get rid of him or part ways, I guess, with him and Trent Baalke. Then disagree with each other. So they ended up realizing when they brought in Tom Sula and they brought in Chip Kelly, that was by far terrible. Then they brought in Kyle Shanahan. They probably said, look, we're not going to make that dumb decision no more. So I think the 49ers right now are content, like on a level to where, like, if we get into the NFC Championship, having the opportunity to play in the Super Bowl each and every year, like it's hard to get rid of him. So you have that going because he's always getting to the NFC Championship. You also had his family ties are rooted to the San Francisco 49ers. His dad was a winner. And they found a way with him and John Lynch to find a way to bring in key players every single year when we least suspected they could find a little gem or a steal and get some. So that's my thing with him. So it's hard to fire him. And it's hard to get at him.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, listen, y'all made Logan Ryan relevant again.
He was Logan almost Ryan, like the Eric Weddle of the San Francisco.
Yeah, he played for my team. He played for Aaron's team. Well, he's from Jersey, but if I'm not mistaken, I know he played at Rutgers. But it's like I'm so yeah. I mean, there's got to be somebody. I mean, we know Greenlaw's probably going to be up for the year. So but let's just kind of transition into next year because like I said I think we've kind of gone on to we talked about what happened in Super Bowl, what could have happened, what didn't happen, but just some early raw thought predictions on what 2024 can look like. Obviously, people feel that you have the quarterback. Some people may not feel it, but you have Debo, you have Ayuk, you have Kittle. You have a myriad of weapons. You have a great defense overall. So, who do you want to keep, and then just who do you want to target in free agency to help y'all stay afloat?
All right. So I would never want to get rid of Kyle Shanahan too. I just saw that comment. I was just saying on a level like what people may think, because I have so many people who talk about his bad play calling and stuff like that. So I do get that. Back to your question again. You said something about
I would get rid of George Kittle. Oh, raw thoughts.
Whew, wait, no way. I'm gonna tell you now. George Kittle is a product of the system. The system. So since you said this, I'm gonna say that now. The system is a run first type of system. It's not like Travis Kelce where he's pass. The 49ers, you have to be versatile. You're gonna have to block against the run, and you're gonna have to be able to catch the ball. It's not like the Travis Kelce situation is pass. We're not putting you in a block situation every single time. But George Kittle has a lot on his hands in his system because it's a run game system. You're gonna have to be able to block. And I don't think George Kittle was a problem. It's all about the quarterback seeing who's open and not. It's a running style, play action style. Travis Kelce wouldn't want to be in this system because you'll say, "Oh man, yes he will," because he'll be able to fit. Thing about it is, it's not pass heavy. It's whatever's working at the moment, and it may go to something else. But the question, what did he ask me again? I had to make sure I can remember.
Pretty much like who would you take, like any players you'd want on the Niners to help improve the roster? Like who would you want to take off the roster for next year?
I don't know who I would take off the roster. I don't know who I can improve the roster because a lot of free agents, a lot of key players. I'm gonna tell you now, Washington Commanders and Chicago Bears probably gonna race for whatever they have. However that part goes. Truth be told, the 49ers have still a strong foundation. I don't know if the 49ers have a strong foundation, and it's hard to get rid of players. The problem with the 49ers is it's easy to say who I want to have. Raw thoughts, but 49ers cap is set like we got what we got. Maybe we can maneuver, restructure some contracts. Brandon Ayuk is in this. He could actually have his 5th year option, but I think the 49ers will probably say, we're gonna try to figure out how we're gonna pay him now. If not, then he's out of there. So for me, I don't know for sure, man, right now off the hand. So I don't want to say anything different, who we can have. I would love to get some key D linemen because the 49ers have a lot of D linemen that are free agents. Either you sign the guys we got back, and that's it.
Would you keep Chase Young? He only had 10 combined tackles, 2.5 sacks. I did say on our preview show at one point that I heard that Kyle Shanahan was thinking of benching him in the Super Bowl because of his lack of effort that he's seen on the team. So, I mean, you know better than me.
Raw thoughts, I think there'll be a steal because if everything you just said, and if that is like absolutely the truth, which I think, he may not get a big payday. So what he may do is sign a 1-year deal and come back for this Super Bowl run, and then he may get a big payday after that. I can see, because like raw thoughts, what you just said right then was like he didn't do this. You would think about being benched. I'm quite sure everybody in the league looked at him like Chase Young really ain't do nothing for me to even want to pay him a big payday. So they probably looking at it like, do he want him? If he come over here, this what he gonna make. If he come over here, this what he gonna make. I think outside of Randy Gregory, I think Chase Young may get a contract, but it's not what he's going to expect. Yep. I really think he may be the one of all the D-line we got that could possibly come back, pair with Bosa, and try to win out because it's going to be more of a prove yourself contract. I think that's where he's at right now because I don't see him getting no 40, 50 million.
And he's getting Jadeveon Clowney money. He's getting when he was bumping around from Tennessee and Baltimore and all that. Yeah.
No, I don't think him. I think he could possibly come back. I think the 49ers, even though they ain't saying it, and of course he's going to test the market, depending on, he has to fit. Chase Young's one of the type of guys, he has to fit with guys who already have a team assembled with D tackles to make his life good. But if you saying, hey, I'm going to bring in Chase Young, I'm going to give him $50 million, but you ain't got another side on another D end, you don't have a good D line that can get after the football, then you probably say, man, I don't know about that. So like, I don't think I can see myself giving him this when it's just him by himself. But if you add him with the 49ers, if you add him with another D line, let's say if you went to the LA Rams with Aaron Donald, you make it pair that. Like you pair him and Bosa and Eric, like we did Eric Armstead. I like D'Amico Ryans because he, of course, he was the DC for the 49ers, but I don't know what Houston has either. So I'm thinking the teams that he'll go to.
They could because Derek Barnett was actually pretty good for their second unit in Houston. And I think like Chase Young could do that as well.
So for me, raw thoughts, I think about where would he go? And ain't nobody gonna pay him that type of money just for him to be the only player on that line to cause havoc if they don't have other consistent players. It don't make sense. And we know.
Yeah. And also, this is a good one too from the Millie Ghost podcast. Joey Bosa may be looking for a new team. The Bosa brothers up at the Bay. That could be quite interesting. I think Joey's definitely had his welcome, whatever that phrase is.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep. I think Joey Bosa would be a good fit too. Of the Bosa brothers on each end. He's definitely overstayed his welcome in LA. He's just not the same that he was his rookie year.
I'm back. Yes, so for me, I don't see those guys taking days off. Like Chris, I mean Chase Young by himself, no way. I'm gonna pay him that type of money. I really think out of all of them, man, he might get lucky to come back. Then again, Randy Gregory might come back because they have something. Like I don't know, Randy Gregory may. Cause people say Chase Young gone, Randy Gregory gone, but I don't know. Like, do they have enough? Depending on the market, what they're looking for. I don't know. Randy Gregory going to somewhere else. It has to be again legit. So I don't know if he's gonna get 20, 30 million because of his situation.
Nah. I think what happened in Denver when he wasn't producing with that big contract. I don't think
Bingo.
teams are gonna bite on that. But I definitely agree with this also with the Millie Goats. They gotta get Ayuk back and maybe keep Jennings on offense. Yeah, absolutely. Ayuk's like your
those
best
two guys
receiver.
definitely gonna be a pick. Brandon Jennings, raw thoughts. And I'm gonna be raw thoughts on this one. If the 49ers won the Super Bowl, he just they would have threw the ball when Brock Purdy got pressured and the way he was wide open. We probably talking about your fourth receiver on the depth chart, or the fourth playmaker, or the fifth or sixth playmaker winning the MVP. He threw a touchdown pass. He caught a touchdown. He made big plays. And if he gets that touchdown that was actually wide open, but because of the pressure, we actually could be talking about Juwan Jennings as the fifth or sixth person on the depth chart that was a star player winning the MVP. So now, with that situation that he had in the Super Bowl, regardless we lost, teams will say, Juwan Jennings is legit. Juwan Jennings may get paid. Brandon Ayuk may want $20 million a year. He's deserving of it because of what he's done all this year. I don't know if the 49ers can pay that, but Juwan Jennings himself can go somewhere and be a number one, number two. I really think that even though he didn't do it last year, I really think he wants to be like at least a 2 or 3 receiver compared to Debo saying Brandon Ayuk. Then you have him in the slot. I really think he could probably make more money as a 2 receiver somewhere else.
This is hypothetical by Arthur here, which is great. Jim Harbaugh, 49ers defense and Kyle Shanahan offense are win like 3 straight.
The raw thoughts they would. Like Jim Harbaugh would bring in the right.
They definitely would.
He would bring in the right defensive coordinator to run it. Like what I seen with Jim Harbaugh at Michigan, he's a great manager. When I say manager, I'm saying like he understands the organization, what pieces needed, stuff like that. That's why he was 0-7. That's why he was able to turn. Like at first he came to 49ers, they already had pieces. But when he went to Michigan, everybody's like, oh no, I don't know about this. I don't know about that. But he built that team from the ground up, and it turned out to be something really good.
Well, Vernon Davis said you can't coach for them. I remember Vernon Davis. Mike Singletary said you can't coach for them.
Can't coach for him.
And you know what? It's crazy because like now when I look at that overall, Mike Singletary was a great defensive guy. He was a great leader for men. It's kind of like what people say about Mike Tomlin, what people want to say at night. I don't know if Mike Tomlin has like a certain special spot where he's at. But when it comes to X's and O's, it's more than just linebacker woes and goods, you know. So that's my raw thoughts.
Yeah, and I say that with a three-peat because do you think that Pat Mahomes can make a three-peat?
My raw thoughts right now. I don't think Patrick Mahomes and them get back to the Super Bowl with the team they got. I think that was like the look of the Irish this season. I don't know where I got my own pick, but I'll wait for later. I don't know who would go. I just don't think they'll go back this season. I think the AFC will have a different person that's represented. It's just the fact that everybody want to see the Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship more so than the Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship. So for me, I don't think they go back to 3P. It's not even. Now, I'm not saying that to get to the Super Bowl. Raw thoughts. If they make it to the Super Bowl, they'll win it again because Patrick Mahomes. But if they don't get to the Super Bowl, that's why I'm expecting the AFC Championship. Go ahead.
I think a Michael Pittman or a Mike Evans is coming to Kansas City. I think because they're like, listen, I can get a ship. I don't care about the money. Give me that ring. I think one of them is coming next year because this is essentially I hate talking about this.
Him and Evans together, my God, boy.
Yep.
I forgot about Mike Evans.
It would be like Brady and Randy. Brady and Randy. I hate talking about this team back in 2007. It would be like that essentially if Mike Evans came over here.
I know who I would love. I know
there you go. T. Higgins, the ultimate heel.
He's not taking less money though.
How do you know? If you know you're getting a ring, I guarantee
but think about it. Even though Patrick Mahomes won a ring, but if healthy Joe Burrow is there, they could do the same if he's healthy. But he's not. He's not Patrick Mahomes. But what I will say, I just thought about the guys you asked.
He's only got us beat him. He's only got us beat him in the AFC.
Right. He has. So I was thinking about right then when you asked me a question a while back about who would I want for the 49ers. It's two guys that I just realized right then off my mind that I would like to have. One is which I know it's gonna cost a lot. If it's cheap, I would take them. Derrick Henry to save energy for Chris McCaffrey.
1-2 punch. God dang.
And what's the other guy that I was thinking about? Oh, if it was away, because I don't see them winning nothing. Jonathan Taylor. Now you ask between those two coming to San Francisco, I'll be all right. Because I feel like Derrick Henry saves a lot of energy and running backs, man. People understand running backs max time is usually 5 years on the average because they go between the tackles, they dealing with big D linemen, them guys falling on them, so it comes off differently. But I think running back wise, because Kyle Shanahan needs a running back. That's just me, raw thoughts.
This one,
but I agree. I think he would. I think Derrick Henry would go to Dallas if it makes sense. But
why would he go there?
That's now I'm gonna tell you now. Raw thoughts. If he would go there if the 49ers wouldn't want him. I put it to you like this. If John Lynch and Jerry Jones is at the table with Derrick Henry, and they at the table at the same time, I think Derrick Henry easily gonna pick the 49ers if the budget and everything makes sense for him number-wise. But it's easy to go to Dallas because Dallas probably gonna pay him. Him and raw thoughts. Him and Tony Pollard would be something special in the backfield. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you this: my other raw thoughts. You ready for this, Aaron? You ready for this, Hollywood Ray? Raw thoughts. They would be special, but they got the wrong coach. Mike McCarthy is not a running coach, so it's like how do we pair those two with Mike McCarthy? Mike McCarthy gets rid of Kellen Moore, talking he's promising to run the football, and he does the opposite. He did that with Aaron Rodgers. He don't run the ball. So
he had Ty Montgomery as a running back. Come on,
right? So I know that's
he did draft Aaron Jones though.
It's a bad situation. Jerry Jones probably pay him, but I get what Hollywood Ray saying. Maybe I'm wrong. You'll tell me. I just think it's a bad situation overall because the organization and the coaching is not set up for Derrick Henry to be successful there. You got Mike McCarthy, then you have Jerry Jones. Mike McCarthy is a pass first, run second guy. Like it wouldn't make sense. Tony Pollard fits because he can go out in the routes in the flats and catch that pass.
Yeah, he's just not a big back. But this one too from Millie Ghost Podcast, a little cheaper option. Dalvin Cook. Oh, sorry. Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, that's easy. I think Dalvin Cook would come. But then again, raw thoughts, I think Dalvin Cook would come, but I also say Aaron Rodgers could easily persuade him, like, hey man, I'm back healthy. I would love for you to, come back, to New York. Even though the Ravens didn't get the job done. I don't know what I mean. It's the same system they ran in New York. I don't know if he would like to come to San Francisco, but if he could, my God, that'd be good. And the only thing with Dalvin Cook, shoot, about two running plays, he out for injury. So shoot, we gotta make sure shoot. The 49ers got enough problems with injuries. Shoot, give him about 2-3 plays. Breaking news. Adam Schefter, breaking news. Dalvin Cook.
CMC could just show him his old high school routine that his dad Ed used to do, and then Dalvin would be good to go. Cut your jeans so that way your legs aren't too tight. Get some IV fluids all the time.
His entire career, like, he's been super hurt. Like his entire career, he's always been injured. Now you add him with CMC, although CMC the past few years has not been injury prone. I feel like it's almost due, and I'm not trying to put it on him. But so I don't even want to wish that.
Aaron knows where I'm going with this because I talk about this all the time. So, about your availability, your best ability being your availability, right?
I agree.
But I always feel this way, and I'm always going to feel this way. Guys always seem to be more healthy, in air quotes, when they go to a better situation. The situation I always bring up was Vince Carter when he was in Toronto and then got dealt to New Jersey. He was basically a living version of Operation. Oh, my shoulder. Oh, my knee. Oh, my back. Oh, I got arthritis in my foot. Whatever excuse you could come up with, Vince Carter was coming up with it in Toronto. He gets dealt to New Jersey. Oh, I get to play with Jason Kidd, Richard Jefferson, in the crew. And all of a sudden, he's dunking on Alonzo Mourning. He's dunking on Shaq. He's hitting game winners from 45 feet. And it's like, whoa, wait, Vince, we ain't seen this since North Carolina. What's going on? And when guys have a chance to win, they all of a sudden get healthy. So I wouldn't say it's due. I'm just saying when you have a chance to win, you all of a sudden look healthy and fight through whatever knick-knack injuries you had.
And on top of that, you're right, because when you have a good team, you're going to in a good space. That means you don't have to carry the super load. So it's like, okay, exactly. I can find a way to stay healthy when I ain't got to carry the entire load.
Now I have to be 3-14, and I don't have to be killed in the papers. Well, now with social media, but I don't have to get killed online. Yeah. Chase Young probably had a time in his life too. So the fantasy football alert.
Cal Cook's been help out the field. Always hits. You turn the game on. He's back out there. Good old Dalvin. Let's see if we have before we go, because we're closing in the hour. Unless anyone has another topic. Make sure you guys follow Ryan Jones on Facebook, Raw Mind Sports. Same thing on Instagram, YouTube is Raw Mind Sports. Good stuff out there. I try to catch the live stream as much as I can, but it's either they end or I get there.
And those Super Bowl predictions, raw thoughts.
I mean, you give it for next year if you got any.
All right, raw thoughts, random raw thoughts pick, which is insane, but it's crazy. I really feel like, honestly, man, 49ers have a foundation and they have a 1-2 year window. I think the NFC, unless, because I don't know what's going to happen changes wise and teams make their draft picks, stuff like that. I feel like 49ers will be back, which is wild. I know wait a minute. If healthy, I have to put that in there, asterisk. If healthy, the 49ers will be back. The 49ers have a lot of weapons who are extremely experienced. If they get to this Super Bowl next year, they're going to win it, because I don't see them losing that again with this crew of guys that they got. They lost it once, they lost it twice, 3 strikes you out. But I'm gonna throw in a spoiler, is what Paul Heyman says. Y'all, I hope y'all ready.
Well, we got Arthur here in the chat. They
will be in the Super Bowl.
Whoa, Chargers!
Reason why? Because I think Jim Harbaugh is going to run the ball. He's going to probably find a guy who can run the football. Justin Herbert plays into his role. He has a They don't like it. Greg Roman is on offense coordinator now, which people like. He's not that. No, Greg Roman in San Francisco was good. Greg Roman is strong on the running game, and he's strong on the big arm. When Colin Kaepernick was there, he was strong. He didn't like Alex Smith. He was strong on Frank Gore running football and Colin Kaepernick's arm down the field. I'm telling you now, if they can stay healthy, but I really feel like the way Jim Harbaugh, only reason he took the job because they probably gave him access to a whole lot of stuff, which means they about to reshape the entire defense. Anything that's needed, all the old folks, all the unhealthy folks about to go out the door. I don't think he's keeping a lot of guys. He's going to run a 3-4 defense. It's about to change. And I'm telling you now, Justin Herbert stays healthy with the weapons, and they can pick up another running back. I'm raw thoughts now. I'm thinking about it. I wouldn't be surprised if Dalvin Cook or Derrick Henry goes there to LA with the Chargers.
Why not this guy? Saquon.
Saquon could be there possibly. Ooh. So I mean, I'm thinking
he fits in with him getting injured. So
because Jim Harbaugh gonna run the ball, he gonna get touches, but he's not gonna kill him. So for me, that's what I think about when I think about this situation.
I can't see Saquon in that powder blue though. I can't. I can't see that.
But Jim Harbaugh is what I call this the 49er Bowl, the battle of who really was the coach that should have been coaching these past few years. These two teams play. If San Francisco gets to the Super Bowl, and if the Chargers get to the Super Bowl, it comes down to like, I should have been coaching anyway. No, I should have been coaching. So he ain't having nothing against Kyle, but I really feel like, man.
Oh, Jim Harbaugh would win.
And I wouldn't been.
Jim Harbaugh win.
Look, the last thing Kyle Shanahan needs to do is get to another. I'm raw thoughts. I'm to the point as a fan. I would rather lose in the NFC Championship before I see another Super Bowl with the 49ers losing.
You crazy.
Kyle Shanahan.
You crazy. It's about getting to the dance. And you were one of the last two teams. Like, once again, does the Super Bowl losses hurt? Of course they do. I witnessed the worst loss of all time. But I got to see more, thankfully. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, I'd rather get there.
I got you. So with that being said, good. You make me feel better then.
Yeah. Trust me. When that loss happened, you're like, damn, are they gonna get back here again? Like, is it over? Is it this? And then you see what happens. But I just say I don't think y'all want to see if that was the case. I think Los Angeles will win that next year if that was the case. I'm actually kind of in the line with what Arthur wrote on there a few moments ago. I actually think it's a rematch of the John Taylor Super Bowl when he scored a game-winning touchdown years ago. I think it's Bengals versus y'all next year. Like once again, that's just barring if the Chiefs don't do anything. But I think
you said Bengals versus 49ers.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
I can see that.
Because somehow the demons got to get exercised. Y'all got to face a team with y'all. Somebody got to be. It's got to happen somehow.
I really feel like the 49ers gonna win the next 2 years, man. That's just me. Like, it has to be because like Kyle Shanahan, right? The monkey off the back, stuff like that.
Or maybe it's y'all against the Bills. Who
oh boy, God, I know y'all probably like, man, Jesus, not this type of bowl. But
no,
I definitely know they ain't winning that one. I don't see them winning at all. That's my raw thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, well, listen, Josh Allen is going to run the AFC East as long as he wants to. I said it. I know that's true. I said it on my other show that I'm on. That's the point. Like, I remember that play either was his rookie year or his second year. That play in Minnesota when he jumped over that linebacker to get the first down. And I was like, oh, like if he just continues to progress, like he's going to be the guy in this division once Brady leaves. And that's exactly what's happened. Brady left. And then he's been the man in that division ever since. So the AFC East is wide open. Most divisions right now I feel like are wide open. So teams better get right or get left. So that's kind of how I see it. So let's end on something fun. Unless you didn't talk about the Super Bowl performance yet, right? You didn't talk about that. Yeah,
ain't nobody want to talk about herpes. Come on, man. Come on,
Usher was great, man. Usher, what you think about Usher, man? Did Usher kill it? Actually, let me ask you this, because both of y'all are married. If Usher had hugged y'all, if I should have hugged y'all wife the way that he hugged Alicia Keys on stage last night, how would y'all respond?
Well,
Are you
first
saying?
off-
Are you saying? You want raw thoughts or the professional answer?
I want both.
I have a Latin wife and she don't play like that, so she already got her chancla ready and her knife, so it ain't happening. Usher ain't getting that close to her.
Raw
We're
thoughts for me,
Marion.
professional level, like, hey man, let's not do that. Raw thoughts, like, man, ain't no way you touch my wife, man. Shoot, it's plenty of women out here to touch. Don't touch mine. Raw thoughts is enough out here. Don't touch my wife. Shoot, there's plenty of them. Raw thoughts. Touch my wife. Find you somebody else to touch.
Monica either.
It got me coming up.
I had to say that. So what's up, Monica? What's up, girl? I had to say it. I had to say it on there. I had to. Oh my god, that I had to say it. I had to. But yeah, I was just like, damn. I said my dog got real cozy, didn't he? And that bad boy JD was out there looking like a Quaker. I said, oh my god,
like how you be so that cozy. I understand it's business, but no, you don't get that cozy with somebody else. So I can see. Put it like this: Jay-Z and Beyonce, will they be all up on them rubbing up? No, it's not. Like, it's gonna
remember
be...
the what's that song she had years ago? I can't believe that's all this stuff is 20 years old. It makes me feel old.
You talking about what song?
Naughty Girl. He Usher was in that video for Naughty Girl, and they was doing, they had a little rendezvous in that video. So I'm just saying, like, hence why you should never go on tour, right? Jay-Z, like, yeah, all right, you ain't doing that shit over here. So,
y'all see that?
Yeah, I did. I was like, whoa. Hold on now. Who do y'all want to see perform this year though? Cause I want Wayne.
Yeah, if it's in NOLA, yeah, I would want
49ers. If the 49ers are in the Super Bowl in New Orleans and Wayne performing, it's a wrap. 49ers gonna win. But Kyle Shanahan said he named his child after Lil Wayne Carter.
Can he remember the song though? That's the only thing. That's my only worry. Can he remember the songs? Like, cause I'm like, there's certain songs we want to hear. Like, we want to hear hustler music. We want to hear,
I need him and Baby to perform. Him and Baby need
what?
To
no, but Mr. 305. What? Pitbull? Right. What? No way.
Him
in New Orleans though.
Him and Wayne got to perform. And if they can find Juvenile, I want all the New Orleans.
Oh my god. Man, back that ass up on
right. And look, they talking about Miss Keys. Girl, you look good once you back that thing up.
You a five motherfucker. Yeah, that'd be dope. Yes, sir. That'd be dope. Welcome to the late night hour of TMS podcast, baby. It's getting lit.
Like doom, doom, doom. Like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, that would be fun with the band playing in the background. But my final question, because I said this, I asked you this earlier, I'm asked now because Aaron's on here too. Are we going to Radio Row next year?
Raw mind, raw thoughts. As soon as that application hit my phone or my email, I'm gonna try to make a mission to be down there. I can't miss New Orleans, man. I want all the good food, all the spice stuff in New Orleans. Las Vegas is one thing. I heard it.
We gotta take Aaron. I don't know, Aaron. Have you been to New Orleans?
No.
Yeah, we gotta take him to Dini's in the French Quarter. Taking the Dini's, you know.
He got that look like, man, I don't know what's going on here.
The food spot. But yeah, take it to a food spot down there, go to Dini's down there, get some good crawfish out there, man. And yeah, right on. Yeah, I can't wait. So wait, listen, so y'all hearing this now. So this is episode 193 as we're approaching 200 episodes, which is crazy. Like I said, it's been an unbelievable journey thus far. So stick around for the next too. But yeah, we look forward to being on Radio Row, and we're gonna get some interviews, and we're gonna have Aaron dancing to bounce music out there. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm down. That's cool.
It's gonna be phenomenal. So Aaron, I'll start with you with final words.
Final words. Where's Mystical now?
He's probably fighting the bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch yourself. Shake it fast.
Right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Got to bring Pharrell out too. If that's the case.
Appreciate everyone in the chat. Obviously, Millie Ghost Podcast. They have a really good show. I'm not sure what happens after football for them, but they have a really good football show. Shout out to Arthur as well. In the chat, we obviously, as you tell, we read all the comments and put them up on during the episode. Appreciate Ryan Jones for coming on, being a good sport, even though his Niners lost. Again, make sure you follow him on all of his channels here up on the screen. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow That's My Sports on YouTube. Obviously, we're getting more shows out there, more episodes. So just follow along and subscribe and download as well with the audio. And go golf and hockey. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm also doing hockey, Blue Shirts Banner, Rangers Pod, TPNY Sports. Check that out, Millie Ghost Podcast if you have the time. Just did one with Variety Sports Network as well called The 5 Hole. Check that out as well. But as always, Black people matter.
Yeah, so go ahead, Brian. It's your time.
Yeah, man. Raw Mind, Raw Thoughts, Raw Mind Sports. You can find me on iHeartRadio, Spotify, LinkedIn, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Instagram, Facebook, rawmindsports.com, rawmindsports.com, and even on X, I'm up there as well. Amazing things I'm doing. Make sure you check me out. Make sure you look at all my blogs, from news station work to my stuff. So, hey, I'm just happy, grateful, and I actually cover all sports. Raw Mind, Raw Thoughts.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, we thank you for coming on. My final words is, we thank y'all for listening this far into the show. As always, like I said, whatever we do, whatever we continue to do, is impossible without those that listen and spread the word for us. So we can't say thank you enough. As you see, all of our information is at the bottom on the ticker. Ryan, we thank you for coming on, man. Once again, this has been, it was a while since you have been on, like I said, on this side of it. So we thank you for coming on and giving us your raw thoughts as always, man. So, and as always, Black Lives Matter, not just when it's convenient for you. So he's Eric Cass, Primetime Ryan Jones, aka Mr. 252. I'm Hollywood Ray, and until next time, we'll see you. Peace.
Tie this game at 60.